Hey Isaac, greeting to everyone who has joined for the first day of the day two of also you are ready to get knowledge about the marketing and more insights about marketing and to earn some points for your respective entities and teams. So before we start, we have to mention our partners who are without whom we would not be able to make this event a success. First of all, our official goal partner, Chartered Institute of Marketing, our media partner, Arteculate Asia, and finally, our platform partner, Curva Private Limited. So, moving on to the session today, we have a special guest to talk to you and enlighten you all about digital advertising, who is none other than Mr. Tharidha Muhandiramge, who is now the co-founder and head of operations at Digital, and also who was the member committee president for AIESEC Sri Lanka in year 14 and 15. Tharidha, good evening and over to you.
Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you very much for the introduction. Let me switch on my video so then you can put a face to the voice. Glad to see a lot of people joining in today. It's actually quite a lot, so 176 people. Didn't expect this many people would join. Yeah, so maybe I'll just start off by a small introduction about myself as well. I was in AIESEC back in 2014. I mean, I was the president of AIESEC in Sri Lanka back in 2014 and 15. I nearly did AIESEC for almost 5 years. Later I went on to do a job. I studied chemical and process engineering. And then I worked as a process engineer for 2.5 years at a company in Sri Lanka, handling few projects. But I always wanted to start something on my own. So I always had the thought, and I was trying out few startup ideas as well. Hard to say it's startup, but mostly like business ideas. And then while I was at AIESEC, I became very close friends with few foreign AIESECers, and also I was the EP buddy for. I hope you're using the same words, acronyms these days. I was the EP buddy for one of the interns who came to intern at Virtusa. His name is Adam Nasalek. So while he was traveling to Sri Lanka, at one point we decided, rather we were brainstorming business ideas, and he said, why don't we start a company, digital marketing company in Sri Lanka? Because at the time he was working at Google. So he was in the marketing department in Google, and that kind of made us realize that, with his profile and also with Sri Lanka being the operation center, probably we can start a digital agency related to performance marketing. So it did materialize. So he quit his job, I quit my job, and Kavin is also part of the company now. So we all started the digital agency, and now we've expanded into 2 countries. We have a registered company in Singapore, and we are also in the US right now through one of the partners. So we are working on predominantly foreign clients, I would say. But we started off as a local agency, and now we've come this far. It's been about 3.5 years since we started the company. Yeah, so that is a small intro about myself. Right, maybe I'll start off with a bit of Facebook ads. I hope everyone can see my screen. Loading still. Yeah, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I see.
Yes, we.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you have seen this particular dashboard, but this is Facebook's Ads Manager. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with this, or how many of you have seen this. Has anyone seen it, or apart from Alish and others, or do you have this? Do you have members access Facebook's dashboard, or how is it? Maybe you can give like an indication to me on the chat.
Hello, yeah, this is Sevangi. So in terms of the AIESEC Sri Lanka dashboards, only the member committee has access. So the
you have a dashboard.
I mean, for the ad accounts and all. So the membership hasn't had any experience in terms of the ads.
Right, understood. Okay, but have anyone of you seen this interface, like Business Manager? Facebook's? No, I guess it's a no. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll give a small intro about that as well. So, I mean, you all are aware of the front end part of Facebook, right? So, whatever the sponsors that you see, they are mostly run through the business manager. So, business manager is where you basically run sponsored ads targeting various things. It could be brand awareness, it could be to reach people, or it could be to even drive conversions. In your case, mostly it's going to be leads, I suppose. So this is the backend of Facebook, which is called the business manager, and these are business manager profiles. So this is 80 digital business, that's for us, and we have another business manager as well. So these are several business managers that I'm part of, as you can see. And today, actually, I will show you some of the ads that we are running for a brand called Piniac. Probably I'll give you a bit of background into the brand as well. So this is a brand based in the US, predominantly in the area of New York, and they are selling a liqueur online. They want to push online sales, but at the same time, they want to also push sales to the stores that they have the liqueur in. The internet is a bit slow, so you'll have to bear with me a bit. Everyone can see my screen? I can't see the green.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, by the way, stop me at any point if you want to know more, if you would like to know, I don't know, nitty-gritties about the ad platform. If there's anything, just stop me and let me know. And I mean, ask me, so then I can explain it, right? So basically what we were tasked with is to run sales or to increase sales for these three particular bottles, I would say brands, types of bottles they have. It's a liqueur. I don't know how many of you have heard of a liqueur. It's not very hard for liquor, but it's about 30 between 20 to 30% liquor alcohol content, and they have like different sizes, right? So it's full of tropical fruit flavor. So this is basically the website, and we were tasked with running ads so that they can get better returns. So when you say returns, generally what we talk about in Facebook is like when you spend at least $1,000, can you get about 4 or 5 times of the return? So that means in revenue. So we've hit about 5 times the ad spend. So that is like when we spend $1,000 for ads, you would get about $5,000 in revenue, right? So under the business manager, you would have something called ad accounts, and that's called ads manager, right? So I'll show you here as well. Manish, if I'm going off course, you can also stop me at any point and tell me, this is covered, this is not, and maybe I can focus on something else as well. So this is basically what the options that you have under your business manager, and these are called ad accounts. So ad accounts are used to run sponsored ads. So you can create multiple ad accounts for a particular business, but in this case, we have only one account, that's for Piniac. And then under Piniac ad account, you can structure a lot of ads, right? So in the case of AIESEC, what you can do is basically you can, I don't know how you do the targeting. I don't know what works internally with you, but you can target youth between 18 to let's say 29 and run specific ads targeting with a message saying, there's an organization like this which is into leadership development, and you can take up internships in foreign countries through volunteering and also through placements at companies, right? So this is to give you a glimpse of how the ad account looks like. Yeah. So if you look at this ads manager, these are basically campaigns that we have run, right? So it's been around 2.5 months since we started working with the client, and we've been testing out quite a lot of different things for the client. Basically, we were testing out a lot of audiences. I don't know how familiar you are with the concept of audiences, but when you take Facebook, basically you talk about audiences. You can categorize them by different interests. You can categorize them by demographics. So maybe I can show you that as well. Audience insights. There are certain tools in Facebook, so which I'll not go deep into, but I'll go into the audience insights. Keep this open. Yeah. So this is a tool. This is actually, they're going to discontinue audience insights soon, but this is a tool which we use to get a general idea. So I was showing you the website of the company. It's a liqueur shaped in a pineapple bottle. So you can look at how there are certain things that we test when it comes to Facebook. Like I said, in the audiences, one of the first things we looked at is people who have an interest for liqueurs, right? So if you look at the liqueur audience here, when you put interest as liqueur, and also you can select the locations. Here we'll select New York. That's what we were targeting. Right. It's the county that we want to target. So why is it not showing? Okay, I'm gonna go with I think it's selected, but it's not showing. It shows country United States. No, it doesn't. Yeah, somehow you can actually filter here and check what are the interests. So if you look at it, if you put New York, the interest liqueur, you would see like the demographics, how people are, and certain things like relationship status, educational level, and what are their job titles. So most of them are in the food and restaurant. Some of them are in the food and restaurants, and most of them are in sales. You would see like in percentiles, right? So this is just to get an idea about what the type of audiences. And then using these data, we start setting up ads. And some of the ads that we've set up based on that is this. Yeah. So I'll show you one of the campaigns that we were running, just for you to get an idea. All right, so these are the targeting options that you can select. And here there is something called the Facebook Pixel. I don't know how many of you are familiar, but this is where you can track everything that happens on the website through this particular pixel code. It basically looks whether people come through Facebook, and then once they perform a particular action on the website, in this instance, we are looking at people who are making a purchase, and the pixel will send the data back to Facebook saying that this particular person did a purchase. From the backend, we would not know the name or the email or the phone number of the person, but Facebook would know who the person is. So that way, Facebook will say that, X number of people have made a purchase. And based on those data, we can make informed decisions, and we can scale campaigns into better performing campaigns. So in this case, we would scale it up to other interest audiences where we can look at people who would make more purchases, right? And there are a whole lot of options, but this is one of the most important things. These are the audiences. So in this particular campaign, we were targeting Florida, Massachusetts, and New York. And we were targeting people between the age of 25 and 64, right? And always remember, these are ad sets. So all these audience selections have to be done at the ad set level. And each ad set contains generally we put about 5 to 7 ads, because we let the system optimize the ads. And going forward, I'll show you some of the ads that we have set up for this campaign. So click on this and I'll show you one of the ads. You can already see here. Close this for a bit. You can see, you can have like a glimpse of the ads that we were running. These are thumbnails. So you can see what were the ads that were performing the best, right? So as you can see, this particular ad was bringing in about 73 purchases, website purchases, like 73 people made purchases on the website, and they all converted to this particular ad, right? And cost per purchase is $18, right? And the bottle is selling at about $34 a bottle. So if I'm to show you that, is anyone under 21 here? Under the legal drinking age in Sri Lanka? I hope me showing this is okay. Yeah, so this is the ad that we were running, right? So basically, there's a cocktail called Pina Colada, and the bottle is named as Pina Colada. So it was more like a question in the caption. It's like Pina or Pina Colada. And then we're saying it's an amazing cocktail blend which comes straight out of the bottle. And then this ad was performing really well for us. And you can see how the ads look like. These are different placements that you can have on Facebook. You can have it on the news page. There's something called Marketplace in those countries, which is not unfortunately accessible from Sri Lanka. And you have the video feed. On the app, you would see the videos, and then Instagram feed, Explorer. So these are all the placements, right? And yeah, that's pretty much about it. And there are several other ads that we were running. Which is this. So this is the bottle being opened. So it's a bottle where you can, spin the cap, fix it to the bottom, and then it looks like a vase you can have. Yeah. So what I can probably do is, today I was actually hoping to set up a few campaigns for them. I can probably set it up while you are watching it, at least one campaign, so that you would have an idea how ads are set up. Malish, is that all right?
Yes, sir. That will be fine. From the beginning, if possible,
Yeah. So I'll walk you through. So I was just showing you what we were doing. So let me just show you how ads can be set up, right? So on this interface, there is something called create. You can hit create, right? And in Facebook, there are two types of ways in which you can buy traffic. On Google, it's something called CPC. You pay for the clicks mostly, and there is something called CPM. You pay for showing it to people. In Facebook, there are two ways. You can bid for reach and frequency. This is mostly used by companies who wants to reach a vast majority of people at a certain frequency. Let's say you want to reach 1,000 people and show the ad about 3 or 4 times, then you can easily do it with reach and frequency, but these are geared more towards branding. You want to build a brand, you want to be on top of mind. So companies like Unilever, Coca-Cola, these companies will run very branding oriented campaigns with reach and frequency. They want to reach as many people as possible, and they want to show the ad as many times as possible, so that they're on top of mind. But for companies like this, small, medium-sized companies, for AIESEC, what you need to be running is auction-based. So you're auctioning for showing the ad for people, but also you're optimizing it for different other objectives, right? So we will go by auction, and we want conversions. We don't want anything else. on Facebook right now, but there are many other objectives that you can run. So you can run for brand awareness if you want to build the brand. Brand awareness means you basically Facebook will optimize ads and show it to people who would remember it more, right? Of course, your creatives have to be good, and your captioning have to be good so that people would remember more. But basically, Facebook will try to optimize it to show to people who would remember your brand more and more. And reach is basically where you want to target as many people as possible. So it's not about brand awareness, it's not about collecting the brand, but it's about showing your ad to as many people as possible. And then there is something called the consideration phase or consideration objectives. And this is where you can drive traffic campaigns. You want to get more people into the website, right? If you're very confident about certain things on your website, like let's say, it's not only about the purchase, but you are more interested in people signing up for maybe your newsletter or spending more time reading your content. So you can run traffic campaigns and see what other type of people who come through ads spend more time on the website, go for more pages, things like that. And then you have engagement. So if you might know, you do boostings from the front end in Facebook. So that's why you create a post and put it, and then you put a small budget and we boost it. So where you're looking at more engagement, like page likes, post likes, shares, comments, things like that, right? And then these are app installs. You can, if you have an app, you've developed an app. We ran a campaign for a company called 444 in Sri Lanka. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about it. 444.lk. It's a movie and events booking platform. So you can actually optimize the ads where people would click the ad, go to the App Store. If you're using an Apple phone, then you would be taken to the App Store. Or else if you're using an Android-based phone, then you would be taken to the Play Store, and you can, install that. So here also you would be paying for reach and showing it to people. But there are instances where in Google you will be paying for the install. And here it's for more video views. So if you have any videos that you want more views, you can run it. Lead generation, I'm sure some of you will be familiar with this. So this is where somebody clicks on the ad and certain information gets pre-filled, and then you can have few other steps to get it confirmed. And messages, again, for you to get direct messages into your, if it's a company, to your company messenger. And then conversions, this is truly purchases. Like for the brand that I was showing, conversions means for us, it's purchases, like people actually buying a Pinac bottle, right? So those are the conversions that you can run. And then catalog sales, you can have commerce accounts. If you have an e-commerce, you can upload your catalog and then get people to buy from the catalog. Store traffic, if you have like a physical store, you can try to direct them to your physical store, right? So these are the ads, but today we will be setting up a conversions campaign. And here you can name the campaign. So I will just name only the campaign, right? I will go as remarketing campaign for all website visitors, right? What this means is we are capturing those who are visiting the site, and we are trying to set up ads that would retarget them. So anybody who has been on the website for the next, several days, they would be seeing some ads again related to Pinac, right? I will not name the ad set yet. I'll take you to the next step. Yep. So when you go to the next step, you would see like several options. campaign objective is conversions that we want to run. And there's another option called campaign budget optimization, which I will not go into detail, but with this on, what will happen is Facebook will automatically optimize and spend more budgets into the ads that are working the best for you, and also for the ad sets that are working the best for you. Let's say you would have about 4 to 5 different ad sets within the campaign, and if you switch this on, then the budgets would not be evenly split between the ad sets, but it will allocate more budgets into the ad sets that are working the best, right? So here I don't want to be going with campaign budget optimization. Rather, I would want to go, because I would be setting up few other ad sets in this. So I would want to basically target, spend equally for each of these ad sets that I'll be setting, but I will be showing you only setting up of one ad set today in this particular session.
So on behalf of our audience, like if I ask a question, people are when it comes to Facebook and these things, people are tend to use the boosting, right? So most people are like, it's a general thing, and people are always trying to go and boosting. And what's the can you elaborate more on the difference between boosting and the advertisement, running advertisement, and what should be focused more on when it comes to the running advertisement?
Right. So honestly, boosting is for, I would say like small and medium-sized companies who want to do things on their own, who don't want to, kind of get into the whole ads management through the business manager. And it can be a bit complicated, and it can be a bit overwhelming if you are trying to do it yourself. So for people like that, Facebook has given the option where you can put a post on your page and then target a small audience. Honestly, I've not checked it in almost 2 years now, the boosting. So I'm not really familiar what are the targeting options that's available as well right now. But just for the sake of it, because when we were running, I think this is loaded now. So we were running campaigns for this particular company, right? It's hardly working anymore because there are no movies, but this is the app. So when we were running campaigns for this, Dialog was asking, why don't you do boostings? And even though we 100 times told them it will be more expensive, it's not going to be effective, they didn't ask, so they didn't listen to us. So what we did was we ran some campaigns with boosting, and we showed them that the cost is about 3 times higher, right? You get charged premium by Facebook, and for doing that, they're getting more money. They charge you a premium. You're also getting some reach. Not that people are not getting results. I know that certain people who've done boostings, they do get results. For example, there is a small boutique hotel that I know, owned by one of my relatives, and then he does some boostings and he gets a ton of calls. That's fine. If that works for you, that's fine. But if you are a small business, if you want to scale really big, if you want to really test different audiences, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is through the Facebook Ads Manager. Since you can target a lot of, since you can target a lot of people, you can do a lot of different targeting with interest, and you can test out a lot of things. Yeah, is that clear?
Yes, and there's another question in the chat box. What types of ads, videos or photos perform the best?
What types of
ads perform the best, as in videos, photos, or any other medium?
Yeah, it's been honestly, it's been a learning process for us throughout like the past year. So what we've realized is that people think that video will work the best, but time and time it has proven that image ads people engage with more. And I'm speaking through data. I'm not speaking through something that I know. So we ran few campaigns for PNAC as well with a video. For video ads to work, one thing we realized is that either we are trying to sell a product here through PNAC, and people need, within the first 3 seconds, people need to see the product. If they don't see the product, they would just get lost and they would not go through watching the video. So we were running a branding campaign where the founders of PNAC were trying to explain how initially the first 10 to 15 seconds were mostly about them saying about how to pronounce Ping correctly, and how the whole idea came into being, things like that, which was never kind of drove any results for us. But then later on, I will show you the particular ad as well. We were running another specific ad for remarketing, and then that video had performed really well because it was purely the 3 products. It was showing in a video the three products very clearly. When it comes to AIESEC, for example, I would say go with image ads mostly, because they have more consistency over time. If you are running it for a year or 2 years, it will not die down a lot, but it always depends on the size of the audience as well. Now, if you take a country like US, if you target 3 states that we are targeting, you would be easily targeting over 10 million people, right? If you take New York State alone, there is about 5 million people in the New York State, and within the city itself, there are about 3.9 million. So that's massive, and you have like huge audience to, show your ad over and over again. So the ad won't get fatigued, and it'll keep having the engagement. Yeah. I hope I answered that question.
Yes. So we have any other questions again?
So yeah, I do have another question. It's kind of like a follow-up question. We talk about the targeting people, right? So when it comes to the advertisement, like just imagine we do have a small amount of money, and how we can get most out of it, the spend money that we can. It's kind of like I am basically looking for the audience targeting.
Yeah.
Kind of,
yeah. So just to show you, I mean, the hypothesis that we did with the limited budgets we had initially. See, what happened with this company is that they started off with a $5,000 budget monthly, and now they've scaled it up to $10,000 monthly. We are spending $10,000 monthly. That's around 2 million Sri Lankan rupees in the United States, targeting these 3 states. And then we would now we are looking at scaling it up to about 30,000 within the next 3 to 4 months, right? Even though you have smaller budgets, what you can do is, now 5,000 in New York is considered small budget. So what we initially did was we looked at, okay, what are the type of audiences that would resonate with the brand? So the obvious go-to is people with an interest towards liquor, right? But also when we were starting to do that, we also sat down with the founders and we did something called an empathy mapping. So to understand, what are the type of personalities of people who make the purchase that we're dealing with. So what we found out was that people in the States, bartending is a massive job, and people love bartending. There are a lot of bartenders. So bartenders, people who owns restaurants, waiters, waitresses. So all these people have a higher tendency to purchase the product and also make a cocktail out of it. So those 2 were the initial go-to interest targeting for us. And then we also looked at cocktail audience, and we targeted those 3 audiences with a small budget, and we looked at what are the ones that are performing the best, right? So when you have a limited budget, Malish, I think you were asking, when you have a limited budget, how do you test it? So am I correct?
Yes, sir. Like the audience, what kind of audience and how to target that audience particular.
Yeah. So basically for AIESEC, what I can think of is, you can even target very broadly. You can even target without setting up any interest targeting. You can just target people. But the first thing that probably you can do is you can look at people who wants to go abroad or who enjoy traveling, right? That would be a go-to interest for sure. So with that interest, you can target few other interests, but obviously you need to target people within the range of 18 to 29 and put those, several interests in place and put about how much, let's say you have 5 ads inside the ad set. So let's say I'll open up another tab. So Nayanajit has asked if we run awareness campaigns and then for conversions, how can we select the people who reacted to awareness posts. Yeah, that is possible. While this is loading, maybe I will be able to show you that. So I think Nanajit is asking how to do audiences. So doing audiences is, there's an option called audiences on Facebook. You can go there. And these are all different audiences that we created for PNIAC. And you can go here, create audience. And you can create something called custom audience, right? And Facebook gives you a host of options to select from. So let's say you had a video running, you can look at people who watched your video, people who've submitted a lead form. Like a lot of options are available. So the one you need to select is people who've engaged with your Facebook page. You have to click next. And you can select the page. Here it will be PNIAC. Select the page, and then everyone who engaged with the page, anyone who visited your page. Like when you say everyone who engaged with the page, this will include people who've even interacted with your ads, like sponsored ads. So who've liked it, commented it, shared it, anybody. So there are like a host of different options that you can have. And then you can just select it, and then you need to name the audience, give it a description. You can select the retention time. Maximum you can go only 1 year. Basically what this retention time means is, like if you put it, let's say 10 days. So from today, it will look at 10 days back, and it will look at that particular audience. So if you go 10 days forward, I will not be included in that particular audience because, you know, I'm just past 10 days, right? So this is what it means in retention. I hope, Nanajit, I answered your question there. And coming to Malish's question. So you were asking about, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the campaign. So you can see we have 3 different ad sets, right? So these are 3 different audiences. And we have switched these 3 to off because they weren't performing the best at some point on those particular days. But when you look at overall, it's very good. We will resume this campaign soon. So Malish, you can run many number of interest ad sets in this, right? But generally how we would structure it is that you would have, how can I show you that? Maybe I can. So just to give you a better understanding about this, this is how the structure will look like. You have campaign. So this is where you select the objective. All right. You select the objective, and then you have ad sets, right? So this is where you select the audiences and targeting, I would say. Is this clear? Double. So this is where you select the audiences and targeting, like geolocation wise also, this is where you select, right? And then under this, you can have ads, image ads, video ads, etc. Right? So I put etc. because there's something called carousels, immersive experiences, etc. So this is how you will structure. So, Malish, for your question, so ad sets are where you can select the audiences and then target it, right? So you can have multiple ad sets under one campaign. And in your instance, you can allocate about $5 a day for testing. $5 a day for each ad set, and you can have about 5 to 7 different ads within an ad set. Different ads within an ad set. Is that clear? Right, and you can look at, for example, if you're running a lead campaign, you can look at what are the ads which are bringing the best results, and you can start turning off the ads which are not performing for you. So this can be ad set number 1, and for expanding this a little bit more, so this can be students like age 18 to 29, interest, travel, right? This can be that. You can have another ad set, typically let's say ad set number 2. You can have audiences and targeting $5 a day, or maybe you can have like $8 a day, because you are talking about 5 to 6 ads, age between 20. Interest can be, let's say, higher studies. Yeah. And maybe you can have another one, another ad set 3. You can have 8, maybe interest. Let's look at it. Let's actually look at an interest. Okay. Let's say higher studies. Oops, sorry. Where is detailed targeting? Here, higher studies. Okay. Higher learning, there's an interest, so you can probably target that, right? That will have a potential audience size of 240 million in the US. If you look at it within Sri Lanka, so look at it. Sri Lanka. Country region, you have an interest of about, so you need to select age to be 29. Yeah, so you have about 3.6 million people which you can reach through Facebook. That's a good audience, right? So you need to try an audience like this, higher learning, or else let's say travel abroad. I think there should be one. Friends who live abroad, frequent travelers. Yeah, let's say just try travel. See what we get. Let's say travel. That might be something interesting for you as well. Still, you have about 3.6 million audience. So these audiences can overlap, but you can always test it and see what is the best. So does it make sense for you guys, what I just showed you? So this is how the structure can look like. You can basically have all these same ad sets, same ads within these ad sets. You can have one campaign which is objectives targeting. Let's say the objective is leads, but your targeting, you can, so all this targeting that I showed you is based on interest, right? And then you can have a second campaign, right? Targeting engaged audiences. So this would be website visitors, page engaged audience, lookalikes. Have you heard the word lookalike? Hello? What type of ads work best for FB? Yeah, so Harith, I was saying the best would work image ads, right? They're pretty consistent, but you can always test a few video ads as well, right? So how we would structure campaigns is based on the targeting that we do and the testing we have to do. So there is always the other option. Like, let's say if you are not sure about a creative, if you really want to test how the creative would work, there is something called A/B testing, and then you can test out the creative. So you target the same audience with two different creatives, and then Facebook will tell you which creative worked the best for the objective that you were running, right? So yeah, this is just to give you an idea. And I was trying to show you how to set up a remarketing ad. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do it because we have limited time now. And I'm gonna go and select New York, Florida, Massachusetts, County, and then I'm going to select an audience which have visited my website, PNAC website. I'm going to website visitors. So all website visitors for the past 180 days. And I'm also going to target those who engaged with my FB page, Instagram page, Instagram profile, IG for the past 365 days. So this would be the audience that I would select. And pretty much I would just target 21 and above. I'm not gonna cap it at any point because these are people who've shown interest about PNAC already. I'm just targeting 21 and above because in the US, the legal drinking age is 21. I'm gonna put 22. Not gonna have any interest targeting or anything because this is remarketing and we've already selected the audience that we are gonna target here on top, as you can see, right? And I'm just gonna go and hit next. I'm gonna give, I'm just gonna keep it at this because control options optional. Gonna go back a little bit. Campaign budget off. Right. So I'm gonna put a daily budget of let's say $10, or rather I would put 5 because the audience size is very small. And I will hit next. Right. And you come to the ad. Okay. So here you can either create your ad or else you can select it from a place where you can create your ads prior. There's a place called Creative Hub. So in the Creative Hub, you can play around. You can create your creatives see how that look like, and then you can import it into Ads Manager as well. Right, we do both ways. So I'm just gonna say use an existing post, let's say. Then I'm gonna switch back to use Creative Hub Markup. Gonna use the remarketing ad that we created already. Okay, I'm gonna use this just to show you. I think you, Manish, you mentioned you are gonna insert UTM parameters, so I think you're already aware of what they are. So you can, build your URL parameters here, and then you can tell analytics to track it. It will basically track invalid image in ad. Images were not. What is that? Okay, let's just use. So this is how that will look like. All right. And that's pretty much about it. And you can keep on, duplicating the ads and creating more ads here. You can create new ad sets, all that, and you can just publish, right? So I'm not gonna publish, I'm just gonna keep it at closed because there are some edits that I need to do. So that's basically how you create an ad. I hope it's clear. Do you have any questions at this point? What best practice do you have for first time testing remarketing ads on Facebook? Pranavi. You need to be direct with the copy as much as possible. If it's product related, then if you can throw in an offer, say 10% off, free delivery, it will work very well. For testing, what you can do is you can have about 4 to 5 different ads retargeting the people. And initially, you can run it without campaign budget optimization. There is an option called campaign budget optimization, which I was showing you guys. You can run it without that. You can just see how people are reacting to your ads and switch off certain ads which are not working, and then you can go to campaign budget optimization. So based on that, based on the objective, if it's conversions that you have for the remarketing campaign, then the system will try to show it to the people at the right time to get them to come and make a purchase, right? So I hope I answered your question. And then Sydney, when we are doing a video as an advertisement, is there any specific time duration? I mean, the video should be 30 seconds, 1 minute or more than that for get more than 15 seconds is gonna be an attraction killer or other engagement killer. So try to keep it to 15 seconds as possible if you can. If not, 30 seconds is fine. But always keep in mind, generally within the first 3 to 5 seconds, a lot of people drop off. So that's what I was saying. It really depends on what you want to achieve out of it. If it's a branding campaign that you want to run, that still I wouldn't recommend having 1 minute for sure. It will be at least 30 to 40 seconds, but 15 seconds would be good. So we were testing out for PNAC like different ad formats, different ad lengths. And what we found out was that 32-second length, there was an ad that we were running that had the most engagement. But then again, the particular ad that we were running, I can show you that ad. So this is 35 seconds. So this was the one that was performing the best. So they were trying to explain what PNAC is about, right? So we thought that it would work. I mean, they had created it, so we wanted to test it. It wasn't very effective because the first few seconds, as you can see, it doesn't show the product until like here. But we did a small, like we cut the video from here, and then this particular bit started working very well because it directly targeted it directly showed the product. So it worked pretty well. Right. So that's that. And in your perspective, how are Facebook ad campaigns different from other ads? Not sure about that question. Pranavi, maybe you can explain it a little bit more what you meant by that. Facebook ad campaigns are different from, what do you mean by other ads? Is it like Google ads? Is that what you meant? So I'll quickly show you some Google ads as well, how Google ads are being run. Yes, like Google ads. All right. So the two key differences between Facebook and then Google ads. Google ads is more towards you are catering to the demand through search ads. I'm talking about search ads here, but you can always target through YouTube ads people who are not looking for you. For example, Google search ads serve ads when people search, right? So people searching means that people are looking for something. When looking for something, when people are looking for something and you're serving ads, versus when people are not looking for something, but they are hanging out on Facebook, just browsing through other content, and then you're popping out an ad for them. That's different. That's actively creating demand. So the two main differences are that on Google, specifically search, you would be catering to the existing demand already, or demand that is being shown by the people. On Facebook, you can actually create the demand for the product or the service. I hope that answered the question. How can we promote the ads in Facebook? I mean, like, how could we make the payment for promotion for a greater reach in a more secure way? Does it mean that you are not sure whether you can put your credit card into Facebook ads? Is that what you mean? That's the fear that you have. You don't have to worry about it. It's very secure. You just have to insert your credit card. You can. Everybody has a personal ad account. So you go to you go to Facebook. You will have a personal ad account that's attached to your profile. So you can run ads through that. Why we use the business manager is because it's more organized. Through business manager, you can have more people in a company assigned through the business manager to different ad accounts so that they can work, in collaboration on that. So Darshan, is that what you meant? Like, are you not sure whether it's secure to put money into ads, like put your credit card?
Yes, sir. Like, when we put the credit card, and my question is like how can we ensure that that is a secureable way? We would catch the idea, like when we see it, like we would gain the trust, like when we see it. So whether we could make the payment or not, likewise.
I mean, it's bloody secure. I have to use the word. It's very, very secure. You don't have to worry about it at all. You get charged not upfront. Like, you don't have to, put an amount and then start running ads. But Facebook will charge you after a certain limit is reached. Maybe after $25 are being spent, you will be charged. So it's very secure. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. They don't charge you more than what they should. In fact, if they charge you more than, I mean, there are instances, there have been many instances even on Google and Facebook. What happens is, something went wrong with the algorithm and they've spent more and they refund you the money. So yeah, on Google, what happens is, on Google, there are people who are, there are bots who are constantly clicking on ads, like banner ads and stuff. And then Google refunds you that money. They actively look for those kind of scammers, and then they ban those websites, and then they refund you the money. Yeah, apart from Facebook ads and Google ads, what are the methods of digital advertising out there which are very effective? Well, if you're talking about digital now, TikTok is a huge thing. So you can advertise on TikTok. The ads manager looks so much similar to Facebook. In fact, my other business partner, Adam, now he's consulting for TikTok. So we'll soon be also running some TikTok ads for some people. So there's TikTok and there's Bing, and there are other platforms which we call programmatic platforms. Probably you must have seen, like I can show you when you go to like popular news sites like CNN.com. when I do campaign specific audience result less than thought selected, what would be the reason when I do campaign specific audience result less than? Not sure, Yanuka, what the question is. Couldn't really comprehend. How can we join a company like this, like one you are working? Right. We will have few internship positions soon because we are getting quite busy with the work. If you're really interested, you can go to our website, atdigital.io. You can shoot us an email through that with your CV attached, and we would be happy to review. If not, you'll have to look for top jobs if there are any positions for digital marketing. So that would be one of the ways. Yeah. So as you can see, like, this is an ad, right? So I recently visited this website. It's called Anonymous Visa and MasterCard. And they are now targeting me with this Google CDN ad. And for the question that Chetana had, so apart from Facebook ads, if you go, you would see like this is being served by a particular ad platform called Taboola. So what like this, if you go to other there, you would see it as well. And they buy this space from CNN or news sites, and then you can directly place your ads here, right? Did that answer your question, Chetan? So that is there, and the other one is without paid ads, you can do SEO to get your rankings up organically if you have a website. Yeah. Everybody's calling me, so I don't know why. You can just call me Tharidha. That would do. Any other questions? Before I show you a little bit around Google Ads. Just gonna show you another website. This is a website that this is actually a landing page that we did for one of the US clients. It's loading still. So we were tasked with running ads, Google Ads, search ads, primarily to get conversions, right? So this is the website, and okay, what's happening? Yeah, so this is the website, and so we were tasked with running Google Ads so that they can get more leads out of this. Something wrong with this. Check that. It's good that I checked it. Yeah, so you can see the campaigns here, right? So these are the search campaigns that we have set, right? So the initial point of setting up any campaigns on Google before you do anything else is that there is something called, you can actually sign up yourself. You can try this out through all your AIESEC emails. This is easily available. You can go to ads.google.com, and then you can check yourself. So there is something called the keyword planner, which you can use. Malish, should I go into this detail, or how is it?
Sure, we can go with that.
One second. Yeah, so here what you can do is you can, let's say, student internships. I'm just gonna show you. Student internship. And when I search, so you can see how many people are looking for student internships, on average, there are about 1,000 people looking for student internship, particular keyword, internship, summer internship, FPI internships. It's interesting. Engineering internships. So let's look at Sri Lanka. Let's look at Sri Lanka. Malish, do you run any Google Ads right now, or how is it?
From my end, not at the moment.
Yeah. So you can see like people are looking for internships, like about 1,300 people are searching, right? Summer internships. Still people are looking at, this is FPI, I think, yeah, engineering internships 2020. Let's see how many people are searching for AIESEC in Sri Lanka. Yeah, so you have quite a lot of people searching for it. You have about 1,000 people searching for it, right? People are searching for Expo, AIESEC Way, AIESEC Hub, AIESEC full form, opportunities. It's quite a lot, right? So you can get an idea about like what people search. All right. So using this, you can set up ads. You can pick a keyword, right? And I will show you one of the ads that we are running. You can pick a particular keyword. So we are running for something called bed bug exterminator. So in the United States, bed bugs are like a major thing. Like people get bitten by bed bugs a lot. So they keep looking for exterminators who can come and kill the bed bugs or get rid of the bed bugs. So we have this particular keyword in this particular campaign. And again, similar to what Facebook has, there is a campaign structure. In Google, we don't call it an ad set, we call it an ad group. That is the only difference, right? So you have campaign, you have ad group, and then you have keywords. Like these are the ones that we use to targeting. In Facebook, you have interest-based targeting and things like that. On Google for search ads, you target based on keywords. And then you have ads. You can go to ads, and then you would see the ads, right? So these are the ads that we're running. So basically, it will show up saying need a bedbug exterminator, need bedbugs exterminated, get guaranteed bedbug removal 24/7 passwords. So people would click on this, and then they would come to the website, and they will make a call, right? So that's what happens through Google Ads. Yeah, I think with the time, this is all that I can show you for now. But if you want any specific advice or other help, you can always reach out to me, and I would be more than glad to help you. But do you have any questions at this moment? Malish, is this enough, or do you want me to go more into detail? I covered only Facebook and Google Ads, but spend most of the time showing you some of the Facebook ads, like how to set up Facebook ad. I think this will be very useful for you guys, because most of the people that you're trying to reach are on Facebook or either on Instagram. So you definitely can benefit out of this.
With this time strains, I think we can wrap it up for today.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, if there is no other questions, then we can call it a day.
So thank you, Tharidha, for the insightful session on Google Ads and Facebook Ads throughout the day. And I think the audience gained a lot of knowledge regarding and the digital marketing and all. So before we conclude the session, I think we have a special announcement from our very own organizing committee vice president, Malaysia. Yes, over to you.
Okay, so there's a small announcement for you guys I need to make about the campaign management session. I'll share my screen. I'll brief you about the campaign management session, what's happening on there. Basically, if I go briefly, there's a few objectives which we are looking for the campaign management, and it's already downscaled to the your team leaders, LCVPs, and OVPs in your entities. And action plan also, we are downscaled to the LCVPs and OEVPs in your entities, and they will be doing some session with the mentors, and they will be announcing you in the groups what's the plan is going on and how the plan is going to be happen throughout the next set of 1 or 2 weeks maybe. Yes, when from the campaign management, it's kind of like the 7 campaigns that we are creating from the 7 teams, and basically in those campaigns are like addressing the current current issues or current problems that we need to run on, and that campaigns there are some things, that guidelines that we have set up, that campaigns are mainly focusing on the leadership development, and it should be a marketing campaign, digital marketing campaign, and it should be executed with the national social media channels, and it should be aligned with the Sri Lankan context. This is kind of like the introduction to the membership. Basically, all these things are converted or downscaled to the your LCVPs or OVPs in your entities. And the checklist, what you guys have to basically do is there will be a strategic tool we already passed down to the LCVPs, and that strategic tools we need to make, and there is a brand toolkit. The campaign that you are going to create, there you need to come up with a brand toolkit, and also sample graphical approach need to be done within that particular time. And here are the mentors. There are some mentors from the past AIESECers. Basically, we are one people who are actually working on the marketing sector in the corporate sector. So they will be guiding according to these entities. And if I talk about the teams and the campaigns, IGTA basically like going with the team master available, and the IGTE team 22 Shades of Lords, and OGTA team Square 40, and OGTA team Spark, OGT team Beacon, MXP team Catalyst, and H40F team Buggers. So yes, there's a campaign ideas and campaign outlines are there, and these outlines are already downscaled to their LCPs and OVPs. So they will be firstly have some introductory call with the mentors that they have allocated, and after that they will be launching the campaign with you all, and you guys can give your ideas, give your opinions on that, and then you can create the campaign and working on the campaign, and there will be some presentation sessions and commenting sessions from the mentor to the according to that entity. And yes, basically then we are going to present that campaign idea to the all the plenary. This is the basic idea. You guys don't need, like, if it is that's kind of like confused, don't worry. We will be communicating with the team leaders about the campaign management and the ideas and the sessions and knowledge you will be getting through the your mentor soon. The dates will be also announced by your team leaders. So yes, basically that's the message that I want to pass down to you all. Hope we will get good campaigns soon from the entities. And if you guys have any questions on that, put some message on the, like, for the organizing committee, and organizing committee will help you on the what you need to know and what you guys need to come up with, kind of like that. And all the message will be downscaling, and we are communicating with your entity team leaders. I think it's kind of like the basic introduction campaign management until he's doing. And yes, see you all soon with the campaign management also.
Thank you, Tharidha, again for the session, and have a good evening.
Good evening to everyone. Bye-bye.